best buffet in the Philippines at this time, and certainly the best buffet in Bohol. And it's located inside a restaurant called the Prawn Farm. Here is the gorgeous entrance to the Prawn Farm. But first we'll go over the menu and the prices. So today's menu is a lunch buffet, and they have this lunch buffet on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And today's buffet, it changes on each day, is 400 pesos per adult, 225 for kids below 4 foot 6 inches, 125 for a toddler below 4 feet. And the buffet consists of shrimp, potato, corn chowder. Now, I've had a lot of soups here. By far, that shrimp, potato, and corn chowder is the best soup I've ever eaten in the Prawn Farm, or pretty much any other buffet. They have their standard plain rice. They have a fish kinilaw with cucumber. I did not try that yet, but the shrimp and honey ginger is a staple here in the venue of the buffet. That comes every week with every buffet. Now they have a pork steak with a purple onion in a sauce, which is excellent. They have a chicken express, and when I show you the size of the chicken chunks, which are, some of them are 1.5 or 2 inches in diameter, circular, you're going to be surprised at the size of the chicken chunks. And the creamy mushroom pasta, I tasted it. It's excellent. It tastes like mushrooms, and it's a quality pasta. Then, of course, for dessert, they have lettuce, carrots, turnips, corn, cucumber, and a choice of Russian or vinaigrette salad dressing. For the fresh fruits, they have pineapple and watermelon, and the drinks are cucumber juice and iced tea. All of this is unlimited for 400 pesos per adult. Now, just to make a note, if you were to walk down this corridor, about 2 doors are delicious ice creams, and they're quality food. But if you were to go to the Buzz Cafe and get their ginger shrimp meal, which is a meal, just the ginger shrimp meal without a drink is 380 pesos. So that's one meal. This is unlimited ginger shrimp, unlimited potato soup, unlimited salad, unlimited carrots, unlimited cucumber or iced tea. It's a much better deal. It's probably the best deal you're ever going to get in Bohol. Now let's go over the main menu here. I'm not going to read them off, but they have for those of you who come outside the days that there is a buffet, this is the menu and the prices. Soups, they have quite a bit of soup. Appetizers, seafoods, the main course, and vegetables, noodles, and then they have their specials. Say, for instance, this special is a crispy pata. It's excellent, this meal. However, that's not part of the buffet, and they also serve scallops. So let me show you how to get to the Prawn Farm. Once you walk into the ICM Mall, on the far end of this corridor is Jollibee's. Let me zoom in on that. Okay, once you walk into Jollibee's and you see Jollibee's from the main entrance, you make a right and you simply just walk down this corridor here. When you get to Boo's Coffee, 100 feet further is the Prawn, and then you would be right at the entrance to the Prawn Farm. So let me go in and show you the buffet itself. Mein Buntag. What is your name, amiga?
April, sir.
April. Mein Buntag, April. I am Michael. Okay, let's go. We'll do this by the numbers while no one is actually here. Mein Buntag. Okay, so the soup that they have is this shrimp, potato, and corn chowder. It's an excellent soup. And I always point out, look how clean the air conditioners and the walls, everything shines. This place is amazingly clean. So they have a plain rice. Good morning. Hello. I'm Buntag. They have a fish cannelore with cucumber. A creamy pasta. Shrimp and honey ginger. And I'll show you how to eat those shrimp so that it serves multiple purposes. A pork steak. And a chicken express. And the size of these chunks are pretty generous. Okay, and then there's a salad bar to the right, and you can wash your hands in between meals or when you come out of the CR. The CRs are back there. And they have iceberg lettuce, corn, cucumbers. I'm not sure what that is, but that's carrots. Russian dressing, vinaigrette. These are some sort of a very tangy dressing. I don't know what, I've tasted it. I can't eat that stuff. And this is seaweed with vinegar. This is watermelon, pineapple, and the two juices are cucumber and iced tea. Now, if you like an alcoholic beverage or a soda, they have a full display of the common beers and beverages, and they also have drinks, mixed drinks or straight up. I don't know anything about alcohol, but I'll zoom in on that. In case you guys see something that you like. I don't know anything about alcohol. Okay, so this is the restaurant itself. We're gonna go sit down now and enjoy some foods. Mein Buntag. So here's the soup I was talking about. And the chunks of potatoes and shrimp and carrots are very, very generous also, chunks, but the soup is just superb. For a restaurant soup, it tastes like a homemade soup. These are the prawns. That's the pork steak, and that's the chicken. Okay, and there is some snacks for the staff, and of course, one of the main reasons I come here is for the iceberg lettuce salad. That's my favorite, and I'll have at least 4 dishes of salad. So for right now, I'm gonna taste this soup. Show it to you. Those are, the white is chunks of shrimp, carrots, and to the right is potatoes. And you can literally taste the shrimp, the carrots, and the potatoes while you're chewing it down. So let's get, I started this live stream a little bit late today because, well, number one, I got enthralled in how to operate my new tool. I brought the instruction book, which gives you quite detailed instructions. So I was reading the book, and what I didn't realize is the phone wanted me to upgrade, and I had no idea how long it would take to do that. And I pressed the upgrade button, update. I think the update took almost 20 minutes. I have updated the phone before, but the first time I updated it was in the Samsung store, and I left the phone with them. I said, okay, can you just update it for me? The people at the Samsung are very, very nice people. So I don't know how long it took. The next time I did it, I was at my computer at the house, and I just pressed update and left the phone on the table and had no idea how long it would take, but it literally took about, I don't know, 20 minutes, 17 to 20 minutes. The initial update was 11 minutes. Then the update for the apps was 6 more minutes. That's 17 minutes. It shut off and turned back on. That was about 2 or 3 minutes there. So it was close to 20 minutes. That's why I started a little late today. So the first lesson is going to be that the soup is delicious. And you can taste all three of the ingredients as you chew. The corn is fresh. They don't use canned corn. They cut the corn. I'm pretty sure they cut the corn off the cob because it's fresh. And they also have fresh ginger. And it's just as good cold as it was when it was hot. Different flavor, but sometimes you have something that's hot, tastes okay, room temperature, or a little above, it tastes better, and then when it gets cold, it doesn't taste good. This tastes good at every temperature. Hello, Ray. Ray, Hollyhook, over there. Give me a guapo. Wait, give me a guapo. Can you? Ray is the Prawn Farm superstar. Ray, you will give this to the personnel, 2 each. Okay, salamat. So it's not much, but I give them a regular tip as well. But I bring 2 pieces of candy for each of the 26 staff, and then a couple extra pieces for whoever's giving it out. They can get 4 or 5 pieces for themselves. Each week I give it to a different staff member, and they're happy. So in this restaurant that you saw me take a video of, there's 26 people. They need to, that 26 people to open a restaurant and run the buffet. I am definitely, you know what? I'm going to get another bowl of soup right now. I'm gonna do that right now. I'll be right back. That is delicious. I don't normally have 2 bowls of soup, but that soup is like a homemade something that you'd make at the house. I'll be back momentarily. Okay, so man, I have never, not even one time have I ever gone back for soup. I've had a little more soup, maybe towards the end of the meal, but I've never gone back and had 2 entire bowls of soup. That's how much I enjoy the soup. Soup is superb. I don't know why, but I like it today. I like all their soups. I've never gotten anything that I didn't enjoy here. Everything I enjoyed. However, if you notice, when you looked at the pork steak, you see the big giant purple onions? When I get the flavor of the pork is unbelievably good, but I don't take the onions. Because they're just at that point where they're almost cooked enough to eat for me, but not quite. So I would just throw the onions out. So I tell them, let me have the pork without the onions, and then somebody else can enjoy the onions. Now we do have, I'll tell you what I did this week. Tell you why I'm here on Sunday, not Friday. Friday was nice weather, relative, and I wanted to get some work up on the top of the container done. I also wanted to open up the jet ski and get some nomenclature off the jet ski. I have to go online and see what's available. Oh my God. That big orange thing I just ate was a red bell pepper. They're very generous with the red, with the green and the bell peppers. And bell peppers are $8 a kilo. Now look at the size of these chicken. Look at the size of these chicken chunks. They're 3 fingers. These things are huge, and this is all chicken. There may be a bone in it, but this is basically all chicken. All right, this one has a little bone in it. Nothing that won't be digested within the next 96 hours. That was a little bigger, that bone. The rest of them are digestible. Some people like bones, Some people don't eat the bones. I eat the bones. If they're soft and they're thin bones, the marrow inside the bones is more healthy than most of the rest of the chicken. It has a lot of nutrients and things of that nature. Now, talking about odd eating habits, and the way I choose to eat shrimp or chicken with the bones. Now, people say, well, how could you eat the chicken with the bones? There's a lot of people that eat chicken with the bones. My best friend, Bobby, well, the guy who worked for me for 18 years, Bobby, his dad, Jim, he was the first Puerto Rican sergeant, I believe, in New York City. Jim died 3 years ago at the age of like 94. Okay? Now, I grew up right across the street from Jim and Bobby. So Bobby was a year younger than me, so Bobby would be 65, but Bobby had an older brother that was probably 10 years older than him from Jim. Jim had gotten married at a very young age and started having children, a lot of children. And there were seven men in the family, and Mr. and Mrs. Jim, we'll just call them Mr. and Mrs. We're not going to stop till they had a daughter, and they finally had a daughter. I think her name was Lisa. She's quite a bit younger than myself, but my brother grew up with Bobby's younger brother, and I grew up with Bobby. Bobby's older brother was a pilot in the Air Force. But Jim ate the bones. Bobby, his son Bobby, ate the bones. James, who used to come and visit me in the Florida Keys once a month or once every 2 months, he ate the bones. But it's not unnormal. And my dad was known to eat the softer chicken bones as well. So I want to give a shout out to Larry from Escaping the Philippines. Hey Jerry, bon appetit, thank you. I want to give a shout out to Larry from Escaping the Philippines. I am sorry that I missed your live stream yesterday. I did watch the rerun, and I had left a message while I was waiting for the live stream to go live, but we had a torrential, oh God, we had a downpour yesterday, a lightning, a thunder, rain, wind, and a blackout. And that's why I missed your live stream, Larry. But Larry from Escaping the Philippines. Now, while I was watching his live stream, you could see it in the comments section, I was saying he would be a pretty cool guy to meet. I was thinking to myself, because of what he said. He doesn't like people that lie. He doesn't like people that fabricate stuff. And he seems like a knock-around type of guy. My kind of friend. My kind of guy. The kind of guy I'd get along with good in real life. So I was thinking that, and he mentioned, he goes, yeah, there's another guy I want to meet. The guy from Bahal. Hoodwink. Yeah, Michael Fazio, Hoodwink. And I was laughing because right around that time of the video, I had decided that I would like to meet him. And it was because of everything that led up to that part of the video itself, that part of his live stream. He's a funny dude, man. And him and I, the reason I decided that I would like to meet him is because there's a guy, one of these guys, named Andy. And Andy criticized me, criticized Larry. He has a bad habit of criticizing multiple different people on YouTube. And he criticized Tim K. And I don't watch Tim K. I only watched one video of Tim K. But Andy has a bad habit of criticizing Rike and multiple vloggers. Let me show you how to eat a shrimp. You got to get one with a head. Better to eat them with the head on than the legs. Well, anyway, Andy has this bad habit of criticizing vloggers and criticizing them over and above what would be considered normal criticism. You know, he was going to extremes, telling people that he was going to report them to this, that, and the other thing. He was basically being a nosy body or a busybody, but maybe with cause, but I didn't see much cause for his extensive harassment of people. So eventually, he harassed me, and had we not had the lockdown, I would have gone to where he lives and found him and asked him to harass me in person. If you're going to do something, do it to my face. Don't go on YouTube and blah, 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 because that's what he was doing with Tim K, Larry Big Head from Escaping the Philippines, and myself, and many others. Chris Wren, Rike. I mean, 6 or 7 different people. That was his show. Until he met up with Tim K. And then what happened was somehow they met at the VA hospital, and all that blah 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 from Andy Omar, that all went out the window. And Tim K did not attack him, I don't even think there was much words, but as soon as Andy saw Tim, Andy started walking away. He didn't turn around, he didn't do any blah blah blah, and Tim just made a video of it. Hey, Aussie Brian, hello, thanks for stopping by. And Andrew, all that blah 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 went away from Andy Omar. And then, yes, hello Andrew, thank you for stopping by. And then, after that, Tim K just walking behind Andy Omar, there was no threats, there was no words, there was nothing like that. After that, Andy Omar went off YouTube. Now, I don't know for what reason. I have no idea. Maybe he just decided that it was time for him to get off YouTube. I don't know why. But had there not been a lockdown, I would have gone to go see if I could find Mr. Omar and ask him to say all that stuff that he was saying about me, but in person. That would be better for me. This way, I have a hearing problem. Everybody knows that from sitting in heavy equipment my whole life. So that was the determining factor was when Big Head Larry said that he also would like to go meet Andy Omar. And he's not going to have any conversation. When he said that part, where he's not going to have any conversation, I like that. He wasn't fooling around. He goes, I don't play that game. Now, Big Head Larry, he just reminds me of a guy, a knock-around type of guy, what we call the knock-around type of guy. Somebody I could get along with. And at that time, in the video, I said, I want to meet this guy. He's saying he wants to meet me. So, I'm looking forward to meeting Big Head Larry. And also, Larry doesn't like the other couple of people that are on YouTube with the blah, 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 the blah, 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 the blah, blah, blah. but only the blah 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 on YouTube. When push comes to shove, the blah 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 goes. I don't know where it goes. Mars, maybe. Who knows? So, Big Head Larry, big shout out. Now we're going to talk about a little bit about blah blah blah, but first I have to show you how to eat a shrimp. So, these are the shrimp here. Now, everybody knows that inside your digestive system, your esophagus has cilia, C-I-L-I-A, cilia, and when you eat something, the cilia pushes the food down into your stomach. Okay, so your esophagus remains pretty clean, but sometimes there's a mucus membrane that builds up inside your esophagus. Now you can't, well, the busybody, he probably could use something to put down into his esophagus, or at least partially down there, and blow it out. But most people won't do that. So shrimp is the perfect tool, the perfect eating tool to clean your esophagus and also the lining of your stomach, and also your big bowel, and also your little bowel. Because let me show you something about the shrimp. Let me get my glasses on so you can see what I can see, so I can show you what I want to show you. Amigo, do you want this table? No. Okay. Here, so let's take a look at this shrimp right here. See this shrimp? This shrimp has, well, in the beginning, it has like a sharp point here. And then it has legs, multiple legs. Some people take that off, but then they lose, see these legs, they act like a scrub brush when they're going down. They clean the cilia pushes them into your stomach, and then in the stomach, you don't see it, but the legs, they go like this and like that, like this and like that. And they clean the stomach lining, but you have to eat the shrimp head first. That's the way a fish would do it. Otherwise, you could get stuck with the point here. But if you eat the shrimp head first, like this, right. See, now I'm gonna have the whole shrimp. Now I'll tell you when the legs start to clean. They're moving around now. They're in my throat. I can feel the legs and the cilia in the throat working, cleansing, scrubbing, moving down into my stomach. Now the only part of the shrimp that's in my mouth is the shell, because the shell is very hard, and you want to chew that up really good and swallow it all at one time. And when the shell goes down, it's like a round going down through your esophagus into your stomach, or like a wad in when they shoot a blank out of a cannon, or they put the wad, they put the projectile, and then they put powder, and then they have a wad depending on the type of cannon configuration. It's like a wad, the shell, and it pushes everything down all at once. Whatever the legs and the head miss, the wad. It's like a battering ram, not a battering. Yeah, like a battering ram with a Q-tip on the end. That's the way. That's what it is. Like that. It's like a giant battering ram. And then you have a little sip. And the best thing to do after you have one shrimp head first is to Get right back in the saddle. Get right back in the saddle. Have another. Head first. Head first. Now, well, these are delicious. I think I like the smaller shrimp better than the bigger shrimp because they're crispy. What else is on the menu? Potato, corn, and shrimp soup, pork steak. Let me show you. Okay, so we have shrimp. And these are giant chunks of chicken. And they're pretty good sized chunks to give you an idea how big that chunk is. It's that big. It's 3 fingers wide. The pork steak are chunks of pork. I'll show it to you in a moment. We have iceberg lettuce with Russian dressing or vinaigrette. We have the chunks of chicken. Potato, shrimp, and corn soup. Let me show you the ingredients in there. And there's a lot of everything in there. So look at the size. The white stuff is the white pieces are the shrimp. Then there's corn, carrots, and potatoes. And you can taste all 4 ingredients. If you were to separate them, you'd know exactly what food that was. But when you bite, even if you bite into it multiple, you can still taste all 4. The shrimp, the corn, the potatoes, and the carrots. We have shrimp, ginger shrimp, fried crispy. And these are the pork steaks. This is the pork steak. I ate most of it. And they're pieces of pork about anywhere from an eighth of an inch to a ½ inch thick. That's a thin one. But then this is a chunk of pork. And it's in a sweet and sour sauce with huge purple Vidalia onions. And they have cucumber juice or iced tea. Or you have a choice of rice. And also there's something on the menu. This is delicious. Now, I have to put my hand over the camera. See this right here? If Scott Del Fuego, the great Scott Del Fuego, sees that, he's gonna reprimand me. But what this is creamy mushroom sauce mixed in with the pasta. And it tastes, they use fresh mushrooms, so why wouldn't it taste like fresh mushrooms? But and of course spices, but no MSG. And I don't know if they put salt in it. I don't taste it. But this is a creamy pasta with a creamy mushroom sauce and pasta, which is another dish here that's just as good cold as it is hot. It is. Now, of course, don't tell Scott I had the spaghetti, because the spaghetti is not part of the carnivore diet. But I didn't have much. I only had it to taste it. Now, there was one dish that I don't have on my dish. It's some kind of fish with onions, purple onions, and The onions are just not cooked enough for me to eat them. I like cooked onions, but I don't like raw onions. So I'm gonna have another life cleansing, esophagus scrubbing, stomach cleaning, bowel scrubbing shrimp head first. Now, it doesn't matter how big the shrimp are. If you eat them head first, they go right down. It doesn't matter. And there's a guy out there, we call him the busybody. He gets upset that I eat the shrimp with the head on it. I'm the one eating the shrimp. I don't know what he gets upset about. He gets upset about a lot of things. But he gets upset that I'm at the buffet. The busybody, he does. The busybody gets upset that I'm at the buffet because I'm supposed to be on the carnivore diet. Well, shrimp is on the carnivore diet. You can eat as much shrimp as you want on the carnivore diet. Chicken is on the carnivore diet. Pork is on the carnivore diet. Fish is on the carnivore diet. You can eat as much of those 4 items as you want. The only thing that's not on the carnivore diet is the lettuce, which has no calories and no carbohydrates. So it's not part of the carnivore diet, but you can certainly have it because it doesn't change the ketosis that's going on in your system while you're on the carnivore diet. Now, let me have this shrimp, and we'll talk a little bit more about the busybody. I have some notes. So I'm gonna cleanse now my throat, my esophagus, the back of my mouth, my stomach, my large and my small intestine, and eventually the rest of the apparatus. So head first. I can feel the legs already grasping, pulling the cholesterol off the walls of my stomach, waiting to get into my large intestine so it could clean the inside of the large intestine. Right now, I'm working on the shell. All the legs, they're gone. The legs go first. You separate that with your tongue and your teeth, if you got teeth. Now, the busybody was worried that being that I eat the whole shrimp, I don't taste the shrimp. Of course I taste the shrimp. But the busybody made note that I don't get to taste the shrimp. How does he know what I can taste? In fact, my taste buds and my olfactory system is working better than ever. Do you know that? Do you have any idea that in 3 days it will be 1 year that I have not smoked a cigarette? My taste buds are so hypersensitive to flavor and smells. It's hard to believe. I can literally smell a cigarette while I'm in the jeepney from a car that's 200 feet ahead of us on the road. With somebody smoking a cigarette 200 feet ahead of us. Smoke is coming out of the window of the car, and I'm in the jeepney and I can smell it. It's an amazing thing. I don't get out of breath anymore. I don't get tired. I don't take naps. It's one of the major things. Since I stopped smoking, I stopped taking naps. Because your body is not fighting. You realize, let me do a little more. Let me cleanse. I'm going to cleanse my soul. I'm going to cleanse my esophagus. These are good shrimp. Do you realize, while we're on the subject of cigarettes, there are really 7,000 chemicals in the various types of cigarettes that are put into the tobacco all over the world. There are literally 7,000 different chemicals. There's a cigarette, there's a video. What happens when you stop smoking cigarettes? I don't know. And you can Google that on YouTube. Probably one of the best videos I've ever watched. The only video I ever watched on smoking, what happens, and it says 15 minutes after you stop smoking a cigarette. 15 minutes. Your body, the blood vessels in your body, in general, and in your lungs and your heart, they start to go back to normal. Amigo, Jacob, they go back to normal. Amigo, you want this table? Take this, okay? Take the table. I'm going to give them this table here. So, there are 7,000 chemicals. So, I taste things. And it takes months for your taste buds to come back to normal. Months. And now my taste buds are back to probably as good as they'll ever get. Now, also, so I do taste everything. So, but the busybody had to make a video that I don't get to taste the busybody. Busy there today. Yeah, it's pretty busy here today. It's full. All the tables are full, except one is empty. One small table on the far side. Pretty much, yeah, there's a lot of people here. I don't know why. Well, the holidays. So the busybody, he's worried that I don't taste food. Well, while we're on the subject of the busybody, I did make a few notes. The busybody made note that Roberto done. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't care either, because I wouldn't know about Roberto Dunn. How did I quit smoking? That's a great question. I'm going to tell you how I quit smoking. I decided to quit smoking. Cigarettes went up to 120 pesos a pack from 100 pesos. And that was a deterrent. But when I decided that I'm going to start building the hotel, Get Serious, last January, one of my subscribers and friends said, Mike, January is coming. It's a good time to start building because the rainy season ends right in mid-January. And I said to myself, this was back in November of 2020. I said, you know, if I start building again, I'm going to have to get into shape. Number one, I weigh 270 pounds. Too big to be building stuff, getting up and down on my knees and things like that. Just too much weight. So that was a problem. Number two, cigarettes went up to $120 pesos. That's $2.40 from $2. So I was smoking a pack a day. So a pack a day was costing me 7,000 pesos a month. And I could use that money for building a hotel. So 7,000 pesos a month, $70. 30 times 2 is $60 a month. That's 3,000 pesos. With the additional 20 pesos, it would be 33,600 pesos, which is $72 a month. And I said to myself, well, 3,200 pesos, 3,600 pesos, $72 a month times 10 is 720, and 790, $860 a year. It was going to cost me for cigarettes. And I said to myself, that $860, that'll buy me that's a lot of money, $860. It'll buy me my meat or my food. I spent 12,000 pesos a month on food when I was smoking. Because I was smoking and I was eating to maintain 270 pounds. I didn't need to eat all that food. I didn't need to smoke those cigarettes. So monetarily, I could save, instead of spending 12,000 pesos a month on food, that's what I was spending on food. I cut that out. And I went on a diet where I was only spending like 4,000 pesos a month on food. Now that covers coffee. I gave up sugar at that time. I went on a diet and I stopped smoking. But the diet didn't work so much. It meant I wasn't gaining weight, but I wasn't losing weight. Not until I went on the carnivore diet. However, the price of cigarettes going up was a deterrent, and the weight was a deterrent. And the cigarettes, when I would walk up the stairs, even to come into the ICM mall, it's only 20 steps, I'd be, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need to be out of breath walking up 20 steps. I was undefeated for 4 years in high school, in college, collegiate wrestling. I lost two meets in 4 years at the city finals. Never did I lose a match in high school, unless I was fighting somebody 2 weights above my weight. Never did I lose a match. Any match that I ever competed in to be the number one guy in that weight class, I always won. In other words, when you're wrestling, every week or two, there's another guy your weight, or maybe 2 other guys your weight class. You have to wrestle them to see who's going to go into competition to the next competition, the next time our school competes against another school. So in 4 years, I never lost a match. I did lose at the city finals. I placed second and I placed third out of 4 years. 1 year I didn't go. I broke my hand. And 1 year I didn't place. But 4 years I would have gone. The 4th year at 175, 167 to 175, I would have went, but I broke my hand that year. Getting back to how I stopped smoking. I just said I don't smoke anymore. I finished the pack, and that was it. I never had another cigarette. Now, do I think about it? Every once in a while, I think about having a cigarette. I'm not going to lie to you. I just don't do it. I don't smoke anymore. It's kind of like, I give the example, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. And if you want to understand what that means is, most people don't do heroin, right? I don't do heroin. I wouldn't even know what heroin looked like, except for what I see it in the movie. I knew people that did heroin. I knew people that sold heroin. when I was a kid, but I never saw it. Like, I never saw what heroin looks like. I know it's brown. That's all I know. But it might not be brown anymore. I don't know. But I don't do heroin, and now I don't smoke. And I just stopped. Now, every once in a while, you get this oddball craving for a cigarette. Like, I was next door visiting a friend, and he owns a sari store, and he wanted to talk to me. He had something on his mind. What was on his mind? He wanted to let me know that him and his wife were going to come directly to my house Christmas caroling soon. I said, okay, see you when you get here. They were basically looking to have, for a Christmas gift, Pasaluba. Now, that guy's been my buddies for 7 years, so he's welcome to come and give him some pesos for that. But that's what he wanted to let me know. He was kind of feeling me out to see if it was okay for him and his wife to come Christmas. And his son, of course. So, but he has a sari store. And he said to me, when I walked into his sari store, he held up a pack of Winston. Here's the memory this guy has is amazing. And a bottle of rum. He goes, one rum, one cigarette. Well, he's trying to make a sale. No. He says, you don't drink anymore? Because he doesn't know if I buy rum in the city. You could buy rum anywhere. I could buy it at the supermarket downstairs. I don't know, save 20 pesos a bottle, but then you have to pay for 250 pesos for the tricycle to get the case on. Now, I don't drink rum anymore. Since September, I had 2 ounces of rum. And that was because of a blackout last week. And I couldn't go to sleep. No, I had 2 ounces of rum to send me off into La La Land. Just drank boom boom and went right straight to sleep. But cigarettes, when he held up that pack of cigarettes, man, I had an urge. Good morning. I had an urge for a cigarette, like you wouldn't believe. Because here I am in the store that I used to buy the cigarettes in, and the rum, and there's the cigarettes and the rum in the store with the guy handing them to me, just like a year hadn't passed, and I wanted a cigarette. I didn't have one, but I wanted one. Right now, I have to cleanse my esophagus. And then I have another busybody story about Roberto Dunn, not about Roberto Dunn, about what the busybody said about Roberto Dunn. So, see this shrimp? This is head first. The brown represents crispy, and then the legs are in there. The legs are the part. Picture the legs as a giant scrub brush going down into your esophagus, passing the cilia on the walls of the cilia is going like this, and the legs are going like that. All right, Brian, thank you. Yeah, that's the truth. I just stopped. I just stopped and never had another cigarette. It's not easy. And I went on the carnivore diet the same day. Well, I went on a diet the same day. I went on the carnivore diet 131 days ago, and I lost more than 53 pounds in 130 days. I'm down to 103 kilos from 124 kilos. So we'll talk about the busybody in a moment. Head first. If you don't eat them head first, the legs, thank you very much, Aussie Brian. If you don't eat them head first, the legs, they just go through your system like a funnel. Well, you eat them head first, the legs, they continue to move for days, scrubbing the intestines, the large intestine, the small. They are working. Mmm. 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 Cilia, the legs, the cilia, the legs, the cilia and the legs. Like the inside of a leatherback turtle's mouth with all those teeth going like that. You ever see the inside of a leatherback turtle's mouth? There's thousands and thousands of little teeth that go like this. Because leatherback turtles eat mostly jellyfish. Man-of-war jellyfish, box jellyfish, any kind of jellyfish. They eat jellyfish. So the busybody, getting back to the busybody, we got about 5 busybody stories. By the way, mark my words, quote me on this. I am going to destroy the busybody's reputation as a credible YouTuber on or before January 10th. On or before January 10th of 2022. On or before January 10th of 2022, I am going to do something that is going to destroy the busybody's reputation that he calls himself a truth sayer on YouTube. I am going to destroy his credibility. Now, do you know what the word destroy means? It means to annihilate. It means to remove from existence. It means to raise to the ground the busybody's reputation as a truth sayer. Because he keeps saying, my channel is different. My channel is a channel of truth. Which is exactly opposite of what it is. Plus, you have to deal with the busybody aspect of his channel. What did the busybody say about Roberto? Oh, and the busybody is a very, very much, by definition, a hypocrite. By example, by demonstration, demonstratively, he's a hypocrite. So, what did he say about Roberto? And that isn't true about him. This is the hypocritical part. The busybody said that Roberto, and I don't know if this part is true, Roberto is separated from his wife. I have no idea if Roberto is separated from his wife. I don't follow Roberto. I don't mind watching his videos, but I haven't watched a Roberto done video in, I don't know, a year. It's not something I watch. I watched his videos when he was posting videos of his boat. I love Roberto's boat videos. Man owns 2 boats. It takes a special type of person to own a boat. I watched his video when he got a nice new truck. Beautiful truck. But I don't follow Roberto Dunn. If he had a video of a boat, of him fishing, I'd watch it. But I don't. I'm subscribed to his channel, but I don't know if Roberto was with his wife. But apparently the busybody knows. So, this is what the busybody said about Roberto. Let me read it. The busybody said that Roberto was separated from his wife. And the busybody said that he is cheating on his wife. How does the busybody know that Roberto was cheating on his wife? How does the busybody even know that Roberto was separated from his wife? I don't know. Maybe he has a magic 8 ball. So Roberto, he says, so Roberto is separated from his wife, so he is cheating on his wife. How does he know that? How does he know what Roberto does in Roberto's free time? Now, on the other hand, the busybody is away from Jimmy's wife. The busybody is separated from Jimmy's wife by a great distance. But I would never say that the busybody is cheating on his wife, on Jimmy's wife. And I would never say that Jimmy's wife is cheating on the busybody, because I don't know these things. But the busybody somehow knows that because Roberto was separated from his wife, and only by a few hundred miles at best, I think they still live in the same state, they're separated, so Roberto was cheating on his wife, which I don't know is true, but the busybody is separated from Jimmy's wife by 6,000 miles. But I can't make a blanket statement that the busybody is cheating on Jimmy's wife. I can't say that, and I can't say that Jimmy's wife is cheating on the busybody, because I don't know these things. So how can the busybody know about, decide that Roberto is cheating on his wife, and they're only a few hundred miles apart? So from his logic, the busybody's logic, if Roberto is cheating on his wife, and they're only a couple of hundred miles away from each other, and the busybody is separated from Jimmy's wife by 6,000 miles, that means the busybody is, by his own definition, separated. He must be cheating on Jimmy's wife. I don't understand the rationale behind that. You can't know that. Paradoxical Q says, how does he know that? And I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to say that my gut instinct is as close to being 100% sure that Roberto does not cheat on his wife as 100% sure could be. He just doesn't appear to be that kind of guy. He just doesn't seem to be the kind of guy to cheat on his wife. So, but the busybody inside his head, all this stuff goes on inside this guy's head. So, I don't think Roberto was, you know how long it would take for me to come to a subject matter of number one, Roberto, number two, knowing that Roberto was separated from his wife. If I didn't hear the busybody talk about Roberto being separated from his wife, which I don't even know is true, I would not think that. Not in my head, I would never say, well, Roberto's not making videos anymore, and he's not posting videos about his boat anymore, therefore he must be separated from his wife. That's not a logical conclusion. Logical conclusion is Roberto is fishing once or twice a week, and he doesn't make videos on YouTube anymore about fishing. That's logical. Because a fisherman is a fisherman is a fisherman, and he has two boats. So I believe Roberto is fishing, and he's not cheating on his wife. And he's not posting videos about his fishing anymore. It's just his prerogative. But the busybody somehow came up with, Roberto was separated. Here, if you don't, let me read it to you. You read it yourself. The busybody says Roberto is away. The busybody says Roberto is away from his wife. From his wife, right there, wife. See the word wife? And so he is cheating on her. So he is cheating on her. Okay? But Mr. Busybody is away from Jimmy's wife. The Mr. Busybody is away from Jimmy's wife. and not cheating on her, and not cheating on her. I'm not going to say he's cheating on Jimmy's wife. I am not privileged to that information. If I had to take a guess, I'd guess Roberto was not cheating on his wife, and I'd guess the busybody is not cheating on Jimmy's wife. That would be my guess. That's a logical conclusion, because I don't know that the character of either one of those two people have ever shown me that they have the characteristics of someone that cheats on their spouse, or in the busybody's case, somebody else's spouse. I can't say these things, so I don't. Now I also have some more notes, but paradoxical Q. Exactly. How does he know that? Awesome, Brian. Awesome. Well done. Yeah, Brian. I've smoked before and quit cold turkey. And sometimes it was 10 years between having a cigarette. And I will tell you that for 25 years of my life, my entire alcohol consumption, from the time I was 26 years old when I bought my first crane, my entire alcohol consumption until I moved to the Philippines. So from 1980 to 2014, 90, 100, for 34 years, my entire alcohol consumption was one beer every 4 or 5 years. That's the truth. So I never really drank much. When I moved to the Philippines, I had one beer, 2 beers in the first year I moved here. That was a lot. And until I met Daisy, I didn't drink at all. 1 or 2 beers a year. Then when I met Daisy, we would have one or 2 shots to go to sleep at night, just to make it kind of like mellows you out when you're not tired. I mean, if you have a cup of coffee or you drink a lot of coffee in the morning and you're not tired at 8 o'clock, your body's tired but you can't go to sleep, a shot of alcohol knocks you right out. 2 shots and you're gone. And then by midnight, see, if I drink coffee at 6 o'clock in the morning, I don't have to sleep till 10 o'clock at night. I could go to sleep at 8, but I can't go to sleep at 6. The alcohol, Louis Pagan Pumps. Hey, thank you for stopping. I tried to call you again yesterday morning before the blackout, but you weren't around. I had something I wanted to tell you, but nothing important. So, my entire life, I didn't drink much alcohol. But here is how it works for me for coffee. 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, I have coffee. I could go to sleep at 9 o'clock at night, but I can't fall asleep at 7. So coffee lasts for me a solid 14 hours from the time I drink it. So I might have 2 or 2.5 cups of coffee powder, and that lasts 14 hours. And but since I went on my carnivore diet back in September, no, I have a bottle, but I only had 2 ounces out of the bottle since September. So that's basically no alcohol. And I didn't not drink alcohol my whole life because I have an alcohol problem. That's not the problem. The problem was I operate cranes tugboats, backhoes, bobcats, drill rigs, and people's lives depend on my awareness of the equipment and what's going on the job site. I don't need to crush somebody. I would pick up stuff that weighed 6,000 pounds with my crane. You know what 6,000 pounds? A stick, we call them sticks. A 36-inch creosote stick, 70 feet long. It's 36 inches on the butt end, 15 inches on the non-butt end. That thing weighs 6,000 pounds, 7,000 pounds. You know what that does to somebody's body? If my foot slips off the pedal, or I not paying attention and I swing it and I crush a guy, it removes you from existence. You're gone. So, being that I had the responsibility that we're in heavy equipment, I quit drinking. For the sake of my men and for insurance purposes as well. Head first. See another comment. We're going back to the busybody in a minute. Right, Miss Cleo. Right, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Miss Cleo, I remember her. I never called any of those numbers, but I remember people would call up and they'd want to know their future. Like the busybody, right? I could tell you his future. Or I could tell you what might be his future. Or I could make up a story and believe his future is such and such. Well, I don't know his future. So I don't know his future, but based on what he says, I have a pretty good idea about his future. I could make a guess. That the guy he's been on about, I'm gonna get somebody deported from the Philippines, it's gonna happen in November. If he doesn't get deported, he's going to jail. If he doesn't go to jail, he's gonna have to pay a fine and I'm gonna benefit from it. All of these stories. Me? Listening to those stories every day? The hearing or the court case or the district attorney or the prosecutor is going to do this, that, and the other thing to the guy at the end of November. And then, what happened? Apparently, the guy pled not guilty. So none of those things that he predicted came true. Number one. Number two, the guy, I'm sure the guy listens to his rhetoric, his calculations, his mental gymnastics. Maybe the guy, now this is a prediction. Maybe the guy, this is a guess. Maybe the guy was a ranger. I don't know anything about the military. I'm not going to profess to know. Or one of those Army Rangers, a very highly trained specialist in all different types of fields. Maybe the guy was a Green Beret. Maybe the guy was a Navy SEAL. All of those guys are trained to eliminate problems. Maybe that guy was a Navy SEAL and then transferred over to the Rangers, or a Ranger instructor, and then he became a Navy SEAL. And maybe that guy is going to go close the trap on the busybody. I don't know. I mean, that's like a fantasy to see something like that happen, but I can't say that's going to happen. But the busybody, he knew what was going to happen to that guy. He's going to get deported. He's going to go to jail, or he's going to owe me a lot. He's going to pay a big fine, and I'm going to benefit from the fine. And he had to put that shit all over the internet. Maybe that guy was an Army Ranger, discharged out of the service, and there's no record of it because of some strange thing he did in the service. Maybe one day he'll go visit the busybody and say, oh, what'd you do this for? Come on, man, what'd you do this for? You don't know. That's my, if I was going to take a guess, if I was going to fantasize on something, I picture this guy as an Army Ranger, Green Beret, Navy SEAL with 13 confirmed hand. You know what I'm talking about. I met people like that in Michigan. Part of the Michigan militia. There's a lot of people out there like that. And the busybody is throwing this guy's name around on YouTube and what's going to happen to him. And he had to move out of the town. And he had to take his girlfriend, and his girlfriend had to quit a job. The busybody is putting all this information out all over the internet. And does he really know who he's messing with? No. But I have more stories about the busybody. I quit smoking and drinking on logic alone. Logic and monetary statistics. Alcohol was costing me $8 a week for the infection so that I could go to sleep because of the infection on my leg. So 50 weeks is another $400. So it's a considerable amount of money. But logically, cigarette smoking, there's a Aussie Brian, there's a video. I want you to go look this up. Maybe somebody else. Just look up on the internet, on YouTube. Go there now. I'm going to go get a glass of something to drink. Look up what happens when you quit smoking for a day. And it's about 4 minutes long, the video. A couple of them. And it goes through everything that happens when you quit smoking. It reduces your chance of getting lung cancer in 1 year. It reduces it to 50%. In 5 years, it reduces it to the same as somebody that never smoked. Go look that up. What happens when you quit smoking? Now we got the shrimp heads and the tails, right? So let me tell you why you always put a few heads and tails. You got the heads and the tails. See the tail there? You want to save a few of these. You want to try to get a few shrimp heads and tails because when you eat the tails, it makes you a better swimmer because that's the part of the shrimp that makes the shrimp swim. It's like the fin of the shrimp. So by eating the tails of the shrimp, it makes you a better swimmer. And by eating the heads, you can see where you're swimming, too. See the heads? The heads and the tails? The tails make you swim, but the heads allow you to see where you're swimming. That's the best. That is so good. God, those are good. I know you don't believe me, but I'm a good swimmer. I'll be back in a minute. I'll be right back. And we have more busybody stories. Roberto? Roberto, he would be the last person. I mean, there's a whole level of people that I would never believe to be cheating on their wife. And Roberto would be on that platform with several other people. Roberto cheating on his wife, that had to be one of the dumbest things the busybody ever said. Oh, and then the busybody can't stop. But he might run across somebody that really is shall we say, a go-getter. Be right back. I'm gonna have another bowl of that soup. Yeah, the busybody, he can't stop. I got a couple more notes. The busybody. The busybody gets upset that I come out once a week and have the buffet. He's on a diet. He's on a diet, says the busybody. And what am I eating that's not on the... I'm on a carnivore diet. The carnivore diet allows me to eat every single thing that I've shown you since the beginning of this video, except the pasta. And I had 2 ounces of pasta, and I'll go one step further. The carnivore diet says no carbohydrates, unless it's less than 100 calories of carbohydrates. Well, I ate maybe 30 calories of carbohydrates, so I didn't go off my diet. Now, let me tell you something else that the busybody, he got involved with. I got my notes. Let me get my notes. The busybody says, all right, there's people out there that take notes. He takes notes. You listen to the busybody, who's, remember this, quote me on this. On or before January 10th, I am going to destroy, annihilate, remove from existence any credibility that the busybody thinks he had or has. I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to raise his credibility to the ground. I'm going to destroy what he calls his truth-saying and show the people of this world that he is not a truth-sayer and there is no credibility to 99% of what he says. It's just in his brain, inside his mind. Oh yeah, I really want to talk about one subject that he touched on this week. Oh God, I can't. I could, but then I'll get a strike. So, yeah, look, see the shrimp? I'm going to eat the shrimp with the head and the tail. The legs are going to cleanse the cilia in my esophagus. It's going to cleanse my stomach lining. The legs are going to go through my large intestine, my small intestine. The head is going to go down first so that it could see where, and the tail is going to make me a better swimmer. All kinds of stuff happens. Busybody notes. The busybody. Did you hear the busybody this week talk about that he made a 10-course, 8-course, 7-course, whatever it was, Thanksgiving dinner. Did you hear the busybody talk about that this week? I think I've watched most of the busybody's videos. I didn't see him at the store buying potatoes or turkey or stuffing or any of the fixings or cranberry jelly, the cranberry sauce. I didn't see any of the ingredients for that 7 or 8 or 9-course dinner that he made. And then we didn't see any video of the actual dinner on the table. So are we to believe that the busybody made a 7-course dinner? Now, nobody in their right mind would doubt that. But the busybody did not show us any proof. So with no proof, we're supposed to take his word, which this is what's been going on for years. He has no proof of anything that he says. He has no proof that Roberto cheats on Roberto's wife. He has no proof that I can't taste the shrimp. How does he know what I can taste? And now we have to talk about the great Barry Jordan and his girlfriend. Because the busybody has been very busy worrying about Barry Jordan's girlfriend, Dimples, and Barry's relationship with Dimples. Why, I don't know. Me, personally, I watch Barry. I think he's a better blogger than the busybody by far. He's much more articulate, that's for sure. But the busybody is upset that people gave Barry money for Super Chat. Barry puts on a drama show. If Barry makes money because of the drama he puts on, and he's running a drama show, then he is giving you drama. People are giving him money. He's earning his money by giving you drama. Now the busybody and Barry, the great Barry Jordan, they have it at ends with each other. And the busybody wants to do all these things to Barry, which I doubt he could do any of those things. The physical things that the busybody talks about, I don't think he has any of those abilities. But you don't know, because he's never proven that either. But that's not what this segment of today's live stream is about. The busybody is now moving over into Barry Jordan's girlfriend's business. And the one thing the busybody said this week, which is really none of his busybody business. Busybody business, the 3 B's. Is it the busybody's business what Barry's girlfriend does for a living? No. Is it the busybody's business how she makes a living and rides a motorcycle? No. Is it the busybody's business that it's dangerous for her to ride a motorcycle? It should be everybody's business. That should be everybody's business. That anybody who rides a motorcycle for a living is definitely putting a major amount of uncalculable bad things can happen to you. An unbelievable amount of bad stuff can happen on a motorcycle. But is it the busybody's business to project all of that on you too? No. I mean, I will agree with him on that riding a motorcycle is dangerous. I don't care if you're in the city or outside the city. Riding a motorcycle is just you, and here in the Philippines, no one wears leathers. She doesn't have a full belt helmet on. She doesn't wear gloves. Very dangerous. I'll agree with that. But is it his business to want her to not ride a motorcycle to make a living? No, that's not his business. She needs to work. That's her job. But he also made a statement this week, and Roberto Dunn, he nailed it on his channel last week. Roberto Dunn, I heard it too. The busybody said that Dimples, and this is where the busybody goes over the line by calling people's girlfriends names, negative names. I know for a fact he made outright blatant statements that my ex-girlfriend Daisy May looked like a cockroach. Okay? Now, how long do you think I would allow a conversation like that to take place if the busybody and I were in the same room? How long do you, I mean, you guys, if you can, you wouldn't be able to calculate you'd have to have a stopwatch that worked in hundredths of a second. If I knew what he was about to say, the conversation would be over. And you might say, what happened? That's how fast the conversation would be over. That if Daisy and I were standing there and he goes, that your girlfriend looks like a cockroach, because he said it. I have it on videotape. I'm talking tenths of a second. Okay, but he does that with everybody's girlfriend. He says stuff about Flywood's girlfriend, Frank. Frank is Flywood's. He calls her, he goes, Flywood's allows her to get in her underwear and make TikTok videos. So what? She's in her underwear. Is there really a difference between underwear and a swimsuit? When it boils down to it, is there a difference between a bikini and a pair of underwear? No difference. Bikinis are illegal, and underwears are not illegal. Okay, so why does he have to mind Barry, the great Barry Jordan's business and his girlfriend? But here's what the busybody's business stated this week about the great Barry Jordan's girlfriend, Dimples. Her name is Dimples. I gotta cleanse. I have to cleanse. I'm gonna do like the Buddhists. Head first, baby. Clean those cilia. Clean that stomach lining. Clean those walls. And then swim. Teach me how to swim, baby. My buntag. Teach me how to swim. So the busybody he called the great Barry Jordan's girlfriend. He made up a new name for her. He calls her Dumples. D-U-M-P-L-E-S. Dumples Diner. I think he said she should name her eatery Dumples Diner. Why? Why? What did the girl ever do to you? Why would you do that? Again, he is such a tough guy on the internet, but in real life, I will guarantee you that he is not a tough guy. I could swear to it on a stack of Bibles. I could get an NBA agent to swear to it that he backs down right away. Bang. He didn't want to, he did not want to have any part of me when we met. But then he changed the story that I somehow wanted to have an altercation with him in the parking lot. No, that's not true. So, he calls the great Barry Jordan's girlfriend Dimples, Dumples, because it's sarcastic. And Barry, the great Barry Jordan, he has made it perfectly clear that he wants to meet Mr. Busybody and talk about business. What has... All right, so let me go through this by the numbers, okay? Dimples, Filipina girlfriend, 3 or 4 children, whatever, I don't care about them. I became a member of her channel. I listened to her one video about love and friendship. It's not what, it's not a topic that I'm interested in. Not that I don't agree with love and friendship, but I don't need to hear it from a Filipina or even in real life. I have my viewpoints about that. So, she doesn't have content on her channel that I enjoy. But I would not say don't go to her channel. I would not say don't give her money. I would not say she's an e-beggar. I would not say that. She's a girl with 3 or 4 children that's trying to earn money on YouTube. And YouTube allows you to earn money on YouTube as a content provider. But Mr. Busybody, he goes not just 1 step, 2 steps, but he takes an entire 2 or 3 levels of steps further. She's an eBay. Well, she's just trying to pay her bills. So what if she asks you for money? How does that affect you? It doesn't affect you. And that's the problem with Mr. Busybody. Then, to make it so you don't want to give her money, Mr. Busybody says she is with Barry, the great Barry Jordan. And Barry doesn't deserve to have money from YouTube. Although, YouTube thinks Barry has a channel that's worth monetizing. So what does Mr. Busybody care about that? And if I had $1, if I had $10 for every time Mr. Busybody said, it's not coming out of my pocket. I don't care if you want to give money to Barry, to Fazio, to Dimples, to whoever. Not coming out of my, to Frank, Flywoods. It's not my money. He's like a little girl. He cries about everything. He cries about everything. It's not my money, I don't care, but he does care. That's why he mentioned Dimples and she wants to open up an eatery. So he names it something negative, Dimples Diner. Instead of Dimples Diner, I think was the name they chose for it, Dimples Diner. So he's insulting her and he's ridiculing a fake name that doesn't exist. All in the hope that you won't give her money because she's with Barry. And going 1 step further, which is what he has to do every time, the liar, and this is a straight up and down lie. This is straight up and down. It would never happen. Said it twice this week. If she wasn't with Barry, and she was going to open up a diner, I might see my way clear to give her $1,000. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. That guy wouldn't give her $1,000. He wouldn't give, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't give her $1,000 either. But that's not the point. What does he say it for? He says it in hopes that she will hear that and then want to shy away from Barry, the great Barry Jordan. Well, if I wasn't with Barry, maybe Mr. Busybody will give me $1,000. He's not giving you any money, Dimples. He's never going to give you any money. But that's how he. This is his hate-filled busybody rant, and he is full of hate. There's no doubt about that. I got to go back to my notes. So we never saw him shopping for the Thanksgiving foods and the turkey. We never saw the turkey dinner itself. I never did. I don't know, maybe it was posted. We never saw any of the ingredients all laid out on the counter. Which the busybody, he wants to see everybody else's. If I said I made a 10-course dinner, the busybody would make 25 videos if I didn't show the dinner and the ingredients on the table. But the busybody, he shows nothing and skips over it like it's okay. Do I know whether he made dinner or not? No. Do I care? It wouldn't be something I would normally talk about, but the busybody, he has to talk about everybody else's proof of this, proof of that. And when you give him proof, then he calls you a liar. When you make him a $10,000 wager, he goes, you don't have $10,000. When you show him that you got $10,000 to make the wager, he goes, I'm not going to argue with you. You're crazy. He's got $1 million. He keeps changing the goalposts. He also did post pictures of Dimple's Facebook page, and I hope she does go to cybercrimes with that. This week he was ranting and raging about, now he's an expert on how old is too old to go out with an 18 or a 19 or a 20-year-old girl. He's an expert on that. If you're coming to the Philippines and you just want to have an 18 or 19-year-old girl, that's wrong. You should be like me, my woman. You mean Jimmy's wife? Was that who you're talking about? Your woman? Are you talking about Jimmy's wife? Is that the same thing? My woman, Jimmy's wife, she's an admirable age. She's a good age. 20 years younger. Oh, okay. No, everybody has to go out with a girl that's less than 20 years younger than the man. And then Mr. Busybody went into his philosophical argument as to how old the maximum age of a man to have children with a young woman is. And then the busybody, that if you move into the Philippines just for some young stuff, then, I don't know, there's something wrong with you. But what about the people that move to the Philippines to go swimming, like myself, scuba diving and swimming all year, which I love to do? What about those people? What about the people that just like the weather because their arthritis doesn't hurt them in the wintertime? Well, we don't have winters. What about the people that just don't have enough money to live in America and can live comfortably here? Why is that not okay with Mr. Busybody? Why does it always have to be an ulterior motive? I've been here for 7 years. No one's ever seen me do anything obscure. Have I dated? Yeah. I'm normal like that, dating. Have I dated young girls? Yep. Daisy was, well, if she was born in 1995, she was 40 years younger than me. 40 years? Yeah. 40? Yeah, 40 years younger than me. 1995. Yeah, that'd be 40 years younger than me. I got along fine with her. And I don't see anything wrong with that. If you're in shape, if you're healthy enough, and the girl, and you have something in common, I don't see anything wrong with that. But the busybody he finds fault with that. She's only with them for his money. Well, I never really had a lot of money. I'm not going to argue that point, but I have more notes. Let me go back to my notes. It's always better when I can pull a point up. Okay, so the busybody, we did Dimples. She's an e-beggar according to the busybody. Oh, her job. That's right. The busybody stated that what Dimples does for a living is illegal. Damn. Who's being a busybody now? There's a couple of girls over there laughing. Amiga. I'm gonna go ask her if she'd like to be on YouTube. They are giggling up a storm. They see my face being animated. I'm gonna go get food, is what I'm gonna do. I'll be Amiga, yes, Polyhold. Thank you. I'm gonna put this facing over there. I'm gonna go get another plate of food. You might see me go over there. I'm gonna ask that young lady if she'd like to be on YouTube, saying that she's laughing that I'm so animated. I'm gonna get soup. I'll be back. I'm gonna get another bowl of soup. That soup is absolutely delicious. When I come back, I'm gonna read the comments. I'm gonna get soup and something to drink. I'll be back momentarily. Oh my God, this girl is gorgeous. Bread. Mein Buntag. You are looking good today, baby. Salamat. That's Bread. She's the girl who I gave a charging unit for an external battery that you can add to the phone. You could charge your phone from it, and I gave it to her and asked her to plug it in the back. I'll never do that again. It was like a regular charger for a cell phone, and that's all it was a cell phone charger, Samsung cell phone charging. She plugged it in, and the piece blew from here, from the wall back there that you see there with the green sign. The plug is under there. The piece flew from there all the way across the diner to over to that door there. Thank God she wasn't in the projectile field. That thing, it blew up like I never saw anything like it. And when you look at the unit, it only just had a little black mark in it. Something, the capacitor, something in the capacitor blew up. My God, it sounded like a discharge of a weapon. Not fun at all. Scared me. I was sitting here and boom, and I saw the piece fly across the room. She could have got hurt really badly. And I had only just bought it an hour before, so it was a brand new part, brand new Samsung, right out of the brand new Samsung box. And it just blew up. Okay, I'll be back momentarily. We're gonna go get another plate. Ano ginto na yun? Balik ka na kaya? Balik ka na kaya? All right, we have more shrimp to consume, and I have more notes on the busybody, and I'm back. So I can check my comments. The busybody. My God, he was busy this week. Why can't he just mind his own business? And then the funny thing about the busybody is he says, it's none of anybody's business. But he minds everybody's business. Like, does anybody ever go on and ask the busybody, being that you and Jimmy's wife are separated by 6,000 miles? Does anybody ever ask him if he's cheating on Jimmy's wife? Now we know Jimmy's wife isn't cheating on him. Well, it's kind of an oxymoron. That's another whole subject matter. But the busybody. The busybody, my God, the guy can't stop. He just can't stop. Now, Barry's girl is doing an illegal job, is she? She's got a job, and she's doing a job. Now it's an illegal job. Is he going to report that to the police as well? Dimples, he put Dimples' children from Facebook pictures on YouTube. I think that's a crime. I'm not sure. He doesn't like how I eat shrimp. He says I can't taste the shrimp that I eat. I could taste perfectly well, especially now that I quit smoking. My taste buds are excellent. And also, I'm becoming a better swimmer. Every time I eat the tail of a shrimp, my swimming aptitude is enriched. Oh my God. Look at that. He says, he says, I don't see 60-pound weight loss. No, I never said I lost 60 pounds. I said I lost 50 pounds. Why can't you listen? And I did lose 50 pounds. I don't see it. I don't see that he lost 50 pounds. Does anybody else see it? And then all the trolls on his channel. No, doesn't look like he lost any weight. Everybody else sees it. Want to know how much weight I lost? Let me stand up. This shirt fit like a balloon when I bought the shirt 6 weeks ago. Now look at it. This shirt, there wasn't enough. There was no slack at all in that shirt. This shirt was like ready to blow apart. And that's just after I ate 3 plates of food and 3 glasses of juice. So he doesn't see that I lost weight, but everybody else sees I lost weight. Why does he not see it? Because there's something wrong with him in his head, in my opinion. That's another thing. What business is it of his whether I lost weight or not? Why does he care? Because without me, he wouldn't have a show. Without Barry, he wouldn't have a show. If he couldn't talk about people, he wouldn't have a show. That is his show. He talks about me having no content on my channel. No content? Really? Yesterday, I showed you about a $300 tool that I got on sale for $166 and how to work the tool. And how many hours and how much money you would save by using this tool. That's content. Last week I showed you how Filipinos notch out the concrete posts with a nail and a hammer. That's content. 3 days ago, I cleaned the whole roof of my cargo can 1 and prepared it to put a new roof on it. A new vinyl roof. That's content. He has nothing on his channel. Most of the time there isn't even a video on his channel. But I have no content. I have hundreds of videos of me swimming, scuba diving, and snorkeling. That's content. The reef behind my house, that's content. The Alona Beach Reef, that's content. Balikasog Island, that's content. Palawan, the city of Palawan, that's content. The city of Carnivore, that's content. Deep sea, deep water diving, 100 plus feet, 110 feet, 130 meters, 33 meters, that's content. Underwater wreck diving, that's content. Penetration into the Japanese war wrecks, that's content. Backhoes. In America, my backhoe company, that's content. My bobcat company, that's content. My barge and crane service, that's content. My crane and pile driving service, that's content. But I have no content, but all of his entire life, his universe, is telling people that other people have no content when he couldn't show us a simple Thanksgiving dinner. And if he did, he took it down. He puts videos up, he takes them down because his content is hate-filled. And he knows that a lot of his content is going to be reported to different agencies in the Philippines for slander and malignment of character. When he puts it up, he takes it down. He says it wasn't my video, it's not my content, it's not my channel. I didn't have my face in it, that's not my voice. And somehow he gets away with this until he does it. Until he does it. And that might happen one day. Like I said, he keeps calling that guy out. He's gonna go to jail. He's gonna get thrown out of the Philippines. He's gonna get thrown out of the Philippines, but first he's gonna go to jail. He's gonna go to jail, he's gonna get thrown out of the Philippines, but first he's gonna pay a fine, and I'm gonna benefit from that fine immensely. That's Mr. Busybody, that's what he says. Paige, hi. Hey, Paige. Happy Thanksgiving, Paige. Jenny O turkey patties. The Mark Spitz of shrimp, baby. I could swim like a fish, really. People, they think, oh, when I used to swim every day a mile. Now, if I wanted to, I could swim 2 miles. Could I swim 2 miles now? Yeah, I could. I would be exhausted. I'd sleep for 2 days after that, but mentally, I could do it. My body would not crash and burn from lack of energy to swim 2 miles, but I would not be able to move the next day. But so when I go back to swimming, now I haven't swum in 1 year, not one. I've not been in the ocean in a year, but I know I could if I had to swim 2 miles. I could, but when I start swimming again, because my leg is healing up, I'll start by swimming. My first leg of my swimming is 1,400 feet. Head first, baby. The head so you can see where you're going. The legs to clean the stump. Paige High, you're a doctor. Doesn't this make sense? Look, Dr. Paige High is here. Look, you see this? There's the head, right? On the head, it has the point. The head, the point, right? That's the, that is the part that gives the direction to where the shrimp is going. But then inside, under that, you have legs. Those little legs like that, right? Pretty good camera, yeah? And the legs, once it goes past your palate, the legs go into the esophagus. This Paige High can confirm this, because Paige High is a doctor. And the legs, when they're going down the esophagus, the legs are still moving around. These legs are psychic. They know to scrub the walls of the esophagus. And then when they get down into your stomach, the legs continue. And in the esophagus, the legs are cleaning the cilia that's in your esophagus that's pushing the food down, and the muscles. Then in the stomach, the legs are still cleaning. They're cleaning the stomach wall. And then when the legs get to the big intestine, then that's when they really start to rotate in the big intestine, and they're cleaning like a scrub brush on a drill. Picture a giant scrub brush on a big drill. The legs are going into your big intestine. Then the small intestine, then they speed up. They go much faster. And they clean and they clean, they clean, they clean. And then they get to just before they come out, there's a pouch. You guys don't know about the pouch. All you people, you think you know about the internals of the body. At the back of the small intestine is a pouch. That's like a satchel. And then that's where, then you have stage number 2. Anyway, let's get this shrimp in there head first, and the tail makes sure the Mark Spitz of swimming. But you gotta eat them head first. If you don't eat them head first, nothing happens. Just food. There's a way to do everything in this life. May punta. So let's see. Let me get back to my notes. Anyway, I have more content than any other YouTube blogger in the Philippines. 11,000 videos from all over the Philippines. Dumaguete, Bacolod, everywhere in between. Cebu, and the island of Cebu. Bohol, and the island of Bohol. Florida, Florida Keys, Key West, Marathon Key, Big Pine Key, Upper Key Largo, Lower Key Largo, the Everglades, Miami, Dade County, Miami-Dade. All I have videos from everywhere. 11 amigos, drop something. You people don't have anything. Nothing do you have. And you talk about me not having content? The Mr. Busybody? He's an amazingly incoherent and pretty soon insignificant person. Now let me go back to notes. He doesn't see that I lost 50 pounds. How does he not see that? Everybody else sees it. Let's see. The Mark Spitz of the shrimp. Louis Pagan pounds. Thank you, Paige Hine. Oh, no. Louis Pagan pounds. We're going to eliminate the fact that he refuses to answer any question or acknowledge a question that would make him look like a fool. We're going to eliminate that, and I'm going to bypass it and supersede it in a way that will destroy his credibility on and before January 10th of 2022. So Louis Paganpont says, the problem is the busybody won't answer or acknowledge any question that will undoubtedly make him look bad or paint him into a corner. Sad. He can't do that. Just like he knows that I'm 1,000 times the man that his biggest fantasy in life could ever hope to be. He's a better man than me. He's smarter. The busybody can't do math. He can't do simple math. If I didn't do the math on how much money cigarettes cost, and he didn't copy my math, the man can't do math. If it comes to like an arbitrary thing about doing math, he goes, oh, you do the math. Because he can't do simple math in his head. He couldn't multiply or add $120 pesos times straight. 120 pesos. He said that the great Barry Jordan smoked 3 packs a day. Well, I don't know that. But that's what the busybody said. He says the busybody said that Barry smokes a cigarette every 2 seconds. Barry typically waits when he puts out a cigarette. Somewhere between 2 minutes and 30 seconds and 5 minutes. That's not every 2 seconds. Barry typically waits. On average, he puts a cigarette out and he waits 2 minutes and 30 seconds to 5 minutes before he lights up another cigarette. Take my word for it. But the busybody says he smokes a cigarette every 2 seconds. That's not true. So, every 2 seconds, or 2 minutes and 30 seconds, let's just round it out at 3 minutes, 180 seconds. That's 90 times. He made a mistake by 90 times the actual time of how long it's in between cigarettes are for Barry Jordan. Now, do I care? I like Barry. I'd like to see him stop smoking. I've mentioned it before. If he stopped smoking, he'd have an extra 9,000 pesos a month. But this is not about Barry. the great Barry Jordan. So the busybody said, Barry smokes 3 packs a day at 120 pesos a pack. And then he said, that's 3 times 120 pesos. That's 440 pesos. Really? Really? 3 times 120 is 440? That's what he said. It's documented. He got it wrong by 80 pesos. 120, 120, and 120 is 360. That's simple math. He can't do it. Something in his head does not allow him to do simple math. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's lack of education or compound thought process that he's talking and trying to do math at the same time, and he can't do those 2 things at the same time. But he's never gotten any math right about anything. He doesn't get math right about the cost of things. He doesn't get math right about miles. He was 6,000 miles away from the Philippines for almost 7 months before he knew he was 6,000 miles away. He used to think he was 3,000 miles away. How he got to that, I don't know. It's on the map. And he's roughly 6,000 miles away. But it took him 7 months to know that or remember it. Do I care? No. It's none of my business, right? But the busybody, everything is his business. Louis Pagan-Pump says, anytime he is asked a tough question on any show, like when he went on, he goes on shows and he makes himself look stupid. He deflects, says the host or audience is being hostile towards him, and he runs away. He does do exactly that. He does exactly that. Or he starts yelling at the people. Because that's his only out, man. He has nothing to offer the people of this world. Other than the comedy of his hate streams. The comedy of it all. The comedy when he says, Barry smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day. That's 120 times 3. That's 440 pesos a day. How do you come up with such ridiculous numbers? And then he doesn't correct himself, or he doesn't catch himself. Or he keeps saying he's in the Philippines. He's not in the Philippines. He keeps talking about him being in the Philippines as if he was in the Philippines while he's talking about being someplace else. He's not in the Philippines. He can't get those things through his head. That his past tense, present tense, and future tense, syntax, sentence structure, reading comprehension is basically at a 3rd or 4th grade reading level. Whatever he reads, he gets discombobulated. Louis Bacon said he had Jenny-O turkey patties for Thanksgiving. For all we know. I mean, if I would say if I tell you I'm going to completely destroy his credibility as a blogger and as a truth sayer on YouTube. I am telling you that I am going to destroy his credibility. I'm not going to leave any room for doubt that the man does not speak the truth. And then he goes out and says, well, I choreographed it to get a response. No, you're just straight up and down not able to tell the truth. It's not complicated. You're just not a person that is truthful about almost anything. For 3 years, you swore you were married to Jimmy's wife. But you weren't married to Jimmy's wife. I knew that. Did I go on YouTube and say he's not married to Jimmy's wife? No. Did I know for a fact he was not married to Jimmy's wife? Yes. Because on the court documents it said, Mr. Busybody, a single male, American citizen, so on and so forth, a single white male, American citizen. Didn't say married. I knew that. I just didn't want to share it, or didn't feel it was important to share. I knew the guy was a liar. I don't care. What would I care about something insignificant like that? But for 3 years he swore he was married. When he finally had to come clean about whether or not he was married, and in fact he's living with Jimmy's wife, he said he choreographed it. It was a joke. No, the joke is him. The joke is the busybody. He's the joke. Okay, let me go to my next. So he said he had a 6, 7, 8, 9 course dinner for Thanksgiving. I didn't see them go get the ingredients from the store. I didn't see a frozen turkey, because probably be a frozen turkey. I didn't hear a blog about how much the turkey costs per pound. I didn't see any of the ingredients. I didn't see the stove with the turkey in it. I didn't see the turkey on the table. I didn't see the mashed potatoes and the gravy. I didn't see any of that. Did I call him a liar? No. Well, I don't know if he's lying or not. I don't care. But if I said I had a turkey, he'd want to see the ingredients, the bill, the turkey frozen, the turkey not frozen, the turkey thrown out. He'd want to see the turkey in stages, and the turkey in the oven, and the turkey coming out of the oven. And he'd want to see whoever was there to enjoy the turkey with me. He'd want to see that. Otherwise, he'd call me a liar. Am I going to call him a liar? No, I don't care if he had a turkey. He didn't have a turkey. I'm just trying to make a point here. Scott, don't flake. Oh boy, I'm glad you came now, Scott, because that thing looks like a lobster, a baby lobster. Oh God, Scott, look at this, there's an extra head there, right there. I think I'll eat that head first, because in the head is the brain, and when you eat the brain of the shrimp, it goes in the back of the esophagus. When you drink alcohol and you take a shot of alcohol, you know that the alcohol, of course, goes down into your stomach, but the membrane in the back of your throat and your esophagus and your palate absorbs some of the alcohol. It's a very small amount, and it goes straight up to your brain. That's why you get a rush within a second after you drink a shot or 2 shots. Boom, boom, and you go, whoa. That alcohol isn't in your stomach, in your blood, and then to your brain, which takes a certain amount of seconds. That alcohol is the alcohol that hits the back of your throat and your palate and goes straight up into the brain. When you eat the head of the shrimp, and this is the head of the shrimp right there, in that head is brain. That brain gets transferred almost instantly from the shrimp's brain, head brain, the head of the shrimp, the brain of the shrimp. It goes, some of that brain goes into your stomach, but a lot of that brain goes right upstairs into my brain, like this. Watch this. Let me get the head, just the shrimp. I'll show you. You get a stopwatch, and I'll show you. Look, this is the head of the shrimp, right? Okay, I'm going to eat the head of the shrimp, and I'm going to tell you how long it takes for me to feel smarter. Ready? There's the head of the shrimp. I feel it already. Straight up into my brain. The shrimp's brain, my brain, we have become one. That's why I eat the whole head of the shrimp. I get smarter every time I eat shrimp heads. And the tails, Let me show you what happens right now. I'm gonna get a tail, just a tail, and I'm gonna tell you the sensation I get when I eat the tail of the shrimp. See, this is the tail. When I eat this tail, I'm gonna want to go swimming because my body knows that by eating the tail of the shrimp, I'm a better swimmer than I was before I ate the tail. I feel like Daryl Hannah on that movie where she's a mermaid eating lobster. I feel like Daryl Hannah right now already. I feel like swimming. I do. Oh my God. I feel like eating a lobster with the shell on it right now. Because the tail makes me feel aquatic. No bukkake. No bukkake. So, thank God you came now, Scott, because before I had this mushroom and spaghetti, creamed mushroom sauce with spaghetti on. Wasn't quite spaghetti. It wasn't linguine. It wasn't lasagna, but it wasn't linguine. It was a very wide pasta. I never saw it before. Noodles. It was like a noodle. Cream of mushroom and noodles with ginger and garlic on a pasta, in a pasta sauce. It's not carnivore friendly, but I only had about 30 calories of it. But I put my hand over the lens. Taste the great Scott del Fuego was lurking. Could not see me eat that. Now this one has no head and no tail. This one just is delicious. Yeah, baby. The wordsmith is here, the great Scott del Fuego. My phone is at 15%. My battery is at 15%, which means I have 13 minutes of vlog time left. Let me get through the comments. The great Paige High says, I'm in agreement with you. I've been watching for 6 years now. I'm a believer. LOL. Oh, Paige, you know that I have the power to see these things in ways that other people can't see these things. For instance, the busybody said I have a tumor over my left eye. Well, this is my left eye. Let me give you a good view of this. I don't see any tumor. I don't feel any tumor. But the busybody carried on for a month that I have a tumor over my left eye. Why would he do that? And that for some reason, I wear this bandana over my left eye to cover the tumor. I don't have a tumor, dude. And that conversation would be another conversation that if we were having that conversation in person, no. 3/10 of a second. We give that a 3/10 of a second. That's how long the conversation would last. You think I would let you abuse me in person? Now that would be an imagination. Let your imagination run wild, dude. When I say the conversation would be three-tenths of a second, let it run wild. Let your mind go off in any direction it wants. Believe me, you would never say that to my face. On the other hand, you would never say the things you say to Roberto to his face, or the great Barry Jordan to his face. But on the flip-flop of that, they would all say that to your face. Nobody fears you. Nobody's afraid of you physically. General Troll, not afraid of you physically. Barry Jordan is not afraid of you physically. I seriously doubt Dave is afraid of you physically. Big Kevin is not afraid of you physically. He laughs. Roberto is not afraid of you physically. The great Barry Jordan is not afraid of you physically. Nobody's afraid of you. They would all say these things to your face, but you would never say them to anybody else's face. There's a guy. He's not here now. He left. Otherwise, I'd show him to you. And I'm not going to make up a story, so I'm going to drop that subject. But there was a guy sitting over there before. He's gone. He knows that I'm a blogger. He said hello. I mean, no, he was gracious and everything like that, but you could see that my blogging style and his mental acuity were probably different. Now, the guy Wade, he was a very big man. Very, very big man. Way bigger than me. And I would say he went 350 and he was 6'3", 6'4". Now, I said hello to him, he said hello back, no problem. But he knew I was a YouTube blogger. He didn't say anything plus or minus. He just said hello. A lot of people that come in here know that I'm a blogger. Nobody now. A couple of them came and went. They just waved. But nobody ever says anything to me in person. They can if they want. They're prerogative. They just don't do it. Most people, if they don't have anything good to say, they don't say it. But not the busybody. He got to talk about everybody. The 4 B's. He's just a straight up and down liar. That's another way of putting it, Andrew. Thank you. Louis Pagan Punch. Boy, that Jimmy has a heart of gold. Mike, do you think the busybody appreciates everything Jimmy has done for him? Jimmy lent the busybody his wife. Come on. What are friends for, yeah? I bet Jimmy is his only friend. When I have a story, I heard a story about Barry Jordan, the great Barry Jordan, and Jimmy are going to get together and go visit the busybody when he gets back to the Philippines. We never saw his 10-course Thanksgiving dinner. The busybody is about to be destroyed. His reputation as a credible source for information on YouTube, I'm going to destroy his credibility. Now, the busybody said, now, there's a guy, Don C. I don't like Don C. Make no bones about it. Don C. is another big mouth, backstabbing liar, snake charmer. Okay? Him and FSV. Now they made up stories about they had this all planned out to say that Fazio is the worst blogger on YouTube, and Fazio is a liar, Fazio is this. that the busybody is a better person than Fazio. They had that all planned out. They choreographed that. For that alone, Don C., believe me when I tell you, I don't care that you're 6'4", and I don't care that you're 252 pounds. Believe me, if I ever see you in person, you're going to have to repeat those things to my face, Don C. Believe me, I'm going to ask you to repeat those things to my face, that the busybody's a better person than me, that I'm a liar, that I'm a con artist, I'm a YouTube e-bagger. Believe me, Don, I'm going to ask you to repeat those things. And you should do that. That's the quickest way out of what the situation that you got yourself into. You think I'm kidding you. I'm not kidding you. You ever run across me? I ever run across you, Don C? You made up all of that crap with FSV as a choreograph. The busybody is a better blogger than me. The busybody is a better person than me. The busybody has more content than me. The busybody is a better this, that, or the other thing than me. Come on, man. That's just plain stupid, Don C. But the busybody doesn't like you either, because you didn't give praise him. So you did praise him. You equated to the busybody to me, which there's no comparison. That's another thing. The busybody can't, his destruction of the English language is on a daily, sometimes minutely basis. Compare it. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. Sounds like something out of a space movie. There's no, it's not comparable. It's not compatible. But no comparance? I'm not real sure that's a word. It could be. I could be lacking in that part of my English grammar, but I don't think comparance is a word. So he don't like you, Don C., and I like you less. And 6'4", 252 pounds? No problem. Because what will happen is you won't say it to my face. You won't acknowledge that you were in the same room with me. I really don't know what you would look like without my glasses on. So you could probably get away with being in the same room, and I wouldn't know it. But if you do ever get into the same room with me, and you say, hey, I'm Don C., I'm going to ask you to repeat that stuff. I don't think you're a tough guy. I certainly don't think you're tough enough to say it to my face. And, you know, I'm 6'4", I weigh 200. Who cares? Why would anybody care? You don't work out. You don't appear to be strong in any way, shape, or form. You're just a big guy. Don't see. But the busybody, he don't like you, and I don't like you. So that's one thing we have in common. The busybody says anybody that comes to the Philippines is only coming for the young stuff. And if you date a girl that's more than 20 years younger than you, you're a bad guy. So the busybodies who lives with Jimmy's wife, who's 20 years younger than him, that's okay. But 21 is not, 22 is not, 19 is okay. Because the busybody has a 20-year younger, well, he has a Jimmy's wife that's 20 years younger. That's okay. And I believe that Jimmy is going to have something to say about this when he gets back to the Philippines. Not Jimmy. Jimmy's in the Philippines. But when the busybody gets back to the Philippines, Jimmy, I understand Jimmy wants to talk to the busybody, and Barry Jordan, the great Barry Jordan, is going to bring Jimmy to go visit Jimmy's wife and the busybody. Go ahead. Report me. I'm telling the world that you're living with a married woman. And you're not married to her. Am I doing anything illegal? I don't think so. Did I mention your name? I don't think so. Are you going to get one of your high-priced lawyers that the busybody said, now that I have all of this newfound money, I have enough money to hire lawyers to put so many people in jail? Really? So you're going to spend money for lawyers to try to build up a case? You got somebody that's telling the truth? When you wait, just wait till you get back to the Philippines. There are serious things that you have said against myself, against Flywoods, against Kevin Tuttle. Serious things that you have said about us. We've said that you're living with another man's wife. That's true. And you're gonna hire a lawyer for a civil case? Really, for that? Really? Okay. You could do that. You won't get any benefit from it. There won't be any monetary dispensation for you. And it'll take you years of your life to fight me, Kevin Tuttle, Flywoods' wife, and now Barry Jordan's girlfriend. That's 5 independent cases, and other agencies have also gotten involved. And those agencies have their own law department. Now, I won't say which ones they are, but I will tell you that when you get back to the Philippines, there are people that want to talk to you. Let me go get more pork. I'll be right back. No more shrimp. If there was a pool around here, I'd have shrimp. You know what I want? Soup. I want soup. Okay, so I have about 6 minutes, about 6 or 7 minutes of battery life left. Let me read the comments, get through that. A Splash with Daryl Hannah and Tom. That was a great movie. That was a fan. I loved that movie. I only liked it because she ate the lobster. Creamy mushroom. Yeah, that's this creamy mushroom soup. This soup is so good. It's got scallops, carrots, shrimp, and potatoes. That's potatoes, carrots, and scallops. This might be a different soup because the potato soup with the shrimp did not have scallops. Or they ran out of shrimp. No, there's shrimp right there. This soup is so good. Yeah, Scott, you missed the fettuccine. Scott, I wanted to say hello to you for the weekend, and then I had something. The last mail I sent you. Not a problem. That's not a problem. It really wasn't a problem. Probably the way the mail read, you might think. You might think that the way the mail read, that someone had a wish, want, will, or desire, but it wasn't really like that. I eventually got that all sorted out. So, it's all good now. Oh God, this is good. I don't know. Each buffet is different. Anyway, let me see if I have any more notes on Mr. Busybody. Oh yeah. The Busybody said if a man is 70 years old, he has no business having children. Why does he care? Why does he care? I figured as much for the holidays. I hope you had a nice time. I figured that much. That's why I only called twice. The Busybody says if a man is 70 years old and he's going out with a young girl, he has no business having children. And that he sees men that are 70 years old with a young pregnant girl, and he wonders what the heck is going on in their mind. It's not his business. What does he care? Why? He's looking at a person he never saw before, and he'll never see again. And maybe the guy he's looking at is a pensioner collecting $1,000 a month, and maybe the guy he's looking at has $12 million in the bank, and said, "My good card. Come on, give me 5. Come on. Maybe the guy he's looking at has $12 million in the bank and said, you know what? I'm not going to give this $12 million to my dog. Let me have a child in the Philippines with a nice young woman. Or maybe 2 children, or maybe 3 children. But he doesn't know that. Maybe the guy has $50 million and wants to have a child, to give the child the $50 million and the girl. And what does he care? He cares that the guy has money enough to have a child. Why? Why does he care? Why would you care? Why would that even... When I see a guy that's 70 years old with a 19-year-old girl, and I saw that last week, I looked at her and I looked at him. That's what he wants. Apparently he could afford that. Why would I care? I would not. The busybody, how many hundreds of videos did the busybody make about my ex-girlfriend, Daisy May, and her new boyfriend, the guy she's engaged to be married to? How many hundreds of videos? 100? Probably 100 times. In 100 different videos, he mentioned Daisy May and her new view are doing the horizontal mambo. How does that make the fat man, the whole walrus feel? Would you say that to my face, busybody? Do you really believe the conversation would last a half a second of you saying that to my face? Half a second. Do you think I would let you get away with saying that? Even though I'm not going out with Daisy anymore. She's married. She's engaged to be married to somebody in America. Do you think I would let you say it? That's the point. I would not. Believe me when I tell you. I guess I would have to let you say it if we were in a really public place. But we're talking about mano a mano, outside. I walk by you on the street and you go, hey, fat man, Daisy's doing the horizontal mambo with her new fiance. Half a second later, the conversation, you might not even remember the conversation. I'll remember that you said it, but you might not remember saying it. Very possible. But the same thing, why do you care? If Daisy, 5 months after we broke up, she's going out with another man, engaged to the guy shortly after that, and you got to make 100 references to her in your videos and live streams, why do you care? If you're not a Mr. Busybody. Why won't you say it to my face? You had the opportunity to say stuff to my face. You crawled up into like a little ball, like a little girl. See how he got? You were almost crying. Of course, that was an act. You know, that you were crying. Well, maybe not an act. I mean, I don't know how much of a wuss you really are in real life. Because on the internet, you would, heard him yesterday, had to be one of the funniest things I ever heard. You would not want to see me when I'm mad. Yes, I would. I would want to see you when you're mad. I would. And he says, you would not, no one would want to see me when I'm mad. Yes, we do. We want to see you when you're mad. We want to see you in person. We want to see you up close in person. We want to see you mad. And preferably mad at us. Not all at the same time, but pick one. Pick anybody. Pick the Pinoy troll, Roberto, the great Barry Jordan, myself, Kevin Tuttle. Nobody's afraid of you, dude. Whether you're mad or not. Nobody's afraid of you. Nobody. Believe me when I tell you nobody. Okay, the battery has 4 minutes of live streaming left. He gets upset that I stopped taking my medication, and he keeps saying that they're going to cut off my leg. That's another conversation that would be based on tenths of a second. Then, of course, we talked about Roberto is away from his wife. Therefore, Roberto must be cheating on his wife. But then again, Mr. Busybody is away from Jimmy's wife, 6,000 miles further than Roberto and his wife. So does that mean the Busybody is cheating on Jimmy's wife? No, and that's it. There's no more notes. I finished. My job here today is done. Now the Busybody has some content that he can take to his high-priced lawyers. And by the way, if the busybody has only lawyers to take this information to, it's because no one against me and against Flywoods and against Tuttle, Kevin Tuttle. That means that we have never broken a law or an RA code. That's what that means. And that means it would be a civil case. And that means at the end of the civil case, there'd be no large monetary fines. No eviction from the Philippines and no jail time. It might be a fine. Some civil fines are 1,000 pesos and some are a few thousand pesos. And if he's doing it just to create, generate lawyers' bills on our behalf, myself, Flywoods, or Kevin Tuttle, the court won't allow that. So, he did say, with my newfound wealth, I have enough money to take so many people to court and put them all in jail. Not in those exact words, but that's his plan, to spend the next 2 years of his life in court fighting people to try to hurt them financially. How do you think that'll work out for you? You might just run across somebody that has nothing to do with a court case, nothing to do with anything, and they just walk up to you and end your want or need to fight somebody in a courtroom. That could happen. There's 1,000 people that said they want to meet you. Nobody ever said they want to come and see me and was serious about it. Nobody. But a lot of people want to meet you, dude. With that, I'm going to tell you right now, within 90 seconds, the video is going to black out. We are in the Prawn Farm. This is the beautiful Prawn Farm restaurant. There's also an upstairs. That's the area where they serve the foods. That's the salads and the desserts. And Sunday, I gotta tell you, I had a great meal. I had four bowls of soup, shrimp, potato, corn, with scallion soup. I've never eaten 4 bowls of soup in a restaurant my whole life. That's how much I enjoyed that. And I got to read my book and make the notes in my book. I highlighted everything with this highlighter, how to use the tool. It's going to be expensive to buy the wire, but it's going to be time consuming. So I bought this tool yesterday. I got it finally a year. I ordered it 4 times. I paid for it 4 times yesterday. It was three times it was canceled. Yesterday this tool came. You just put this on, 2 pieces of rebar, and pull the trigger, and it goes wee, and it makes a rebar tie. It's an amazing process. It's really, I got to do this in slow motion to show it to you with the camera. But so what would take 1 or 2 minutes to do in real life, this does in less than 1 second. So I have 6,000 hoops for the hotel. That's 24,000 ties. Some of them are double, so go 40,000 ties. And then I have other rebar and deck ties. I have about 100,000 ties to make. Now this won't do them all, but it'll do a lot of them. So if I save 100,000 ties times say 2 minutes, 200,000 minutes, and you divide that by 60, you come up with about 3,500 hours, I think, roughly. 3,500 hours at $50 an hour for my time. That's $175,000 in time I will save over the next couple of years, minimum. Now, with the rebar bender, again, another 100,000 to